as we said before, when we want to send a message, we're going to send this message or command line, right? So the first token is going to be a message, followed by the user, and then the message body. Okay, so let's create a function that will do that for us. As a test, let's do, say, message, and then we're gonna the login of the recipient of the message, and then that's what we want to accomplish. Right, so let's actually create this message. And so this is gonna be the who to send the message to and the message body. Okay, so that's how we're going to send a message to another user. So let's see if that is going to work for us. So I'm going to restart the server, and then in order for us to send a message, I have to log in as that user that's going to receive the message. So login. Okay, so now if I start that, yep, so you can see here I got a message from guest, and that message says hello world. Now I can send back a message to the guest, but then also we need to be able to receive that message and create a listener for that message. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another interface. I'll call it message listener. And so this will be an interface. And this interface will just have one method, and on message, and then from login, and then the message body. Okay, so whenever somebody sends you a message, basically what happens is the other user will send the message to the server, and then the server will relay that message to the targeted user. And in this case, you will be the targeted user. So when we receive that message from the server, we're going to call this on message callback. Also, once we parse the message, we'll be able to figure out who that message is coming from, and also what is the body of that message. Okay, so now in this right here, I'm just going to create an array of messages. Okay, and likewise, I'm also going to have a way to add and remove message listeners, which is similar to what we're doing here. Okay, so as a test, I'm going to add a message listener to my client instance when I first started. Okay, so I'm gonna say you got a message from, and then the login. Okay, so that's what we're gonna print out. It says you got a message from, and then the sending login, and then also then the message body. Okay, so now in our message loop that we're reading from the server, we'll handle this command. Okay, so likewise, back in the server worker, right, when we receive a message, we actually don't want to split every token. We only want to split the first 3 tokens. Right, so we're going to do the same thing here. Okay, and then instead of using the tokens, we're going to use our own version of those tokens. Right, so that means that the login is going to be, and then the message body is going to be the next token. Right, so the reason why we use that way of parsing is because we want the rest of the tokens that are past number 3 to be included into the 3rd token. And then now we're just going to call all the message listeners and call the on message function, and then pass it the login and then the message body. Okay, so let's see if that works. Okay, so what happens is right now we just terminate, and I believe that is because of this log off right here. Right, so we don't want to log off, because once we log off, it's going to terminate the connection, and then that message loop is going to terminate as well. Right, so we want to right now don't log off. Okay, so here we're still running, right? So now I can send a message to guest. Yep, there you go. So when I send a message from the telnet, I'm able to receive it using the client chat API. Okay, so that's how we're going to create the client-side API. And in the next video, we'll look at creating a Java GUI that can use this client API to create a more visual interface for a multi-user chat program. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.